Okay. Greetings, this is Cat the Calicatster. And it's September 21st, 2018. And we have 500 views, 500 videos, not 500 views, on our channel, here at the review channel. And today, allegedly, Marlowe Fahque is his name. And the producers, directors of the Robotech thing, went to a screening of Michael Moore's new movie. Yes. So what I'm gonna do is go back and forth, do mine, and then graft it together with his. It's actually me. I'll just get it's just me playing the two characters. But yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So was I, of course. Yes. Yeah, well, with Fuzzy Faces also. Yes, he probably figures that. Anyway, Marlowe, fuck you. You're one of the kitty keys, as he was as well. Yes, yes, I also my review of the Benghazi Soldiers movie. Highly rated on YouTube. No, I made fun of that one too. Yes. And I also did the Great Wall movie. Yes, he's building his wall. Yes. So I saw. This is from the director of Bowling for Columbine and Roger and Me, and Fahrenheit 9/11, and a number of other movies. A lot about Flint, Michigan. Yeah. So I'll give you a gist of what it's about, pausing here and there to add in the other 2 cents of Marlowe Fahque, who, yes, Fahque, it goes back to Pine Hill days. It's a joke. But yes, he's more liberal, so it'll be funny to hear what he's going to say. Not as much as Mark's cards, but yes. Anyway, so, yes, I did a trans-tech film, that, well, a fuzzy face, you know, and all that, yes. So yes, and also I figured out hilariously that my character is not from Ontario, Canada. He's from Ontario, California, which makes more sense. Anyway, Imperial Valley. So he knows about empires and stuff. Yes, and in this movie, yes, yes, toward the. The Talking Pointless show. Mark's Cards and I covered the election as it was going on, and what was fun about this movie is that so did it, and also this actual film director. My channel is not being virally watched by all the candidates at all or anything like that. The most hits I ever got for a political story was when I did a review of. Political stuff was when I did a review of Killing Jesus. That's got a few views. Didn't go viral, but yeah. But anyway, it was a book, a Will O'Reilly book. Yeah. So talking point. So yeah, a Michael Moore movie. It's about. It's sort of the opposite of that Dinesh D'Souza. Like Lincoln is somehow personified as Donald Trump. In this one, he blatantly, like, I won't give spoilers, I guess, blatantly goes in the other direction, let's say, and he equates him to Hitler. In this movie, Michael Moore equates Donald Trump to the Führer of Germany from the Hitler. Yes, he's not, though. Hitler was, like, smarter. It's not saying Hitler's a bad guy, you know, he's awful. But Hitler was, everybody says, you know, the next guy is Hitler or Satan or something. No, it's not like that. It's Hitler was smarter than Donald Trump. Let's face it, Donald Trump is not very shrewd. He's very outgoing and very, allegedly tells it like it is, but he's just being rude and boorish because he's rich. That's okay, I guess. Yeah, he goes there. But to get there to that point, he has to give you backstory of how all of this happened. He's not really. I don't think he's. You know, bottom line is, I don't think any president since like 70 years ago even has been even close to Hitler. So that's kind of a low blow there, because like, come on. But anyway, but he does make some unfiltered mistakes. Let's say he's got the Twitter thing up at 3 a.m, twittering and stuff. But that wasn't even addressed so much in there. This movie actually, for the first 2/3 of it, is about what went wrong with the election, what went wrong with both parties in the election. So it was actually quite fair, actually, of how the news media messed with everything and how it was messed with. He doesn't even, well, this movie was probably completed about a month or 2 months ago, so it doesn't address the Russian scandal, it doesn't address the Stormy Daniels scandal, it doesn't address Kavanaugh, nothing current, but because, it takes a while to put a film together. But he would have thrown it in there if he thought it relevant. So yeah, there's a lot of other stuff since then that's made, like 2 months ago, everybody was freaking out, but now 2 or 3 months later, it's like, wait a minute, this guy really is trolling the entire country. That's what he's doing. So, yeah, there's a lot about Flint, Michigan in there too. I'm going to that later, but yeah. Yes, and some election of 2016. Hillary won the popular vote, but they had already rigged. Yes, they had already rigged it. And just to make sure that they had already rigged the election, they dealt with Putin and his Russian friends. It's totally obvious they did. They did it. Snowden was, of course, involved somehow. And WikiLeaks was involved somehow. They all were. Yes, they were all behind it. And Trump, I will talk about some of the sleazery of this film, which you did not talk about, because then we have two things going on. The sleazery is that, like many of these other politician guys that Trump likes, the Donald, he is sleazy. Yes, they did not point out that open mic thing with the Bush who he punched them in the vagina. He didn't mention that one. But he did mention is the 3 or 4 times that Donald Trump has been quoted, like live on TV, as saying he wants to stoop his daughter. That is freaking gross. And now, and then the sycophants of the Sea cult. They think that Cal Cat is shagging my daughter. And I say, well, of course he is. Just kidding. I don't have a daughter. But it would be funny if I did. Donald Trump wouldn't go anywhere near her if I did. I don't have a daughter. No, I'm silly. I have cats. Yeah, Trump is in the story of, well, basically it's about the election, the 2016 election, and covering what went on and how the news media covered it and how it seemed impossible. It was like a cluster frack, cluster frack. They said another word other than frack, let's say. Cluster, beep, okay. And Michael Moore goes into, he interviewed some of the people on both sides, so he got both sides in there, even Trump. And he got all the other stuff in there, and he addresses the election, how it seemed to be rigged in the Democrats' favor, and in Bernie Sanders' favor, and then Hillary's favor. When Hillary got better donors, they sort of kicked Bernie Sanders out of some of the race, like literally kicked him out, like said, "Oh no, we're not going to count his votes in this one state." Oh, okay, that's messed up. But yeah, because they were afraid of socialism, because he's leaning socialite kind of guy. Yeah, so yeah, then Hillary wins the popular vote, but the Electoral College, which Michael Moore wants to get rid of entirely, voted in Trump instead of Hillary, even though the American people wanted the first woman president and wanted that to change the world. But saying your daughter is a nice piece of ass is disgusting, Mr. Trump. Stop that. Ew. I hope his daughter sues you for sexual harassment. That'd be funny. Just Kushner stuff. Really? So yeah. But yeah, there's others. Yeah, Trump won because Trump connected with the base that was and appeared to be unfiltered, a regular folksy type of thing. He was copying Sarah Palin, which he didn't address. So he's copying Sarah Palin. He didn't address the Sarah Palin. That's where he got it from. I'll be folksy and I'll attract the folks. Actually, there hasn't been, and what he kind of addressed in the movie, there hasn't been a single U.S. president that wasn't establishment. There hasn't really been, even Barack Obama was establishment. He pretended not to be, but he was. He was in banks and stuff, deregulated and stuff like that. They all were. He was just a little more wordy and more clever than the other ones, being from Chicago. Yes. Well, family used to get her C's together. As a matter of fact, there was a character as a redneck in the movie. They explained to the rednecks in the movie. They said the redneck was going to fight him in the streets or something. He was being facetious, of course. But yes, the redneck comes from the Irish coal miners of Virginia, who put the red scarf on. And that was not that they're redneck from back here, but rather the scarf. Yes. That's what it's from. And no, they did not shag their cousins. That's Arkansas. A little further down the Appalachian Trail. Anyway, yes, and this establishment thing has been going on since Bill Clinton. Clearly, Michael Moore doesn't really like the Clintons because didn't say she won the popular vote very much. He didn't really address that. His agenda was to make it say, Trump is bad. And Hillary might have been the same amount of bad, which is an interesting statement from him. And also, at one point in the 90s, he did in fact have a meeting with Roseanne Barr and Donald Trump. Roseanne Arnold and Donald Trump on a Crossfire show. Counterpoint. Kind of like Crossfire. Counterpoint show. Yes. So he actually met with him. Donald Trump said he had dinner with him, but no, it was lunch. Midwestern dinner is lunch. Yes. I did not meet with him. Although, when he mentioned Occupy Wall Street, I point out to the cat, I said, I was at one of those. I was at Occupy Wall Street, San Jose. Yes, and it was stupid, because they didn't know what they were doing. I was not a protester, I was just happened to be there. Yes. And I was like, okay, yeah, they're not actually literally occupying the Wall Street banks, because that would be dumb. Yeah, so Trump, no one could believe it when he won. There were whole swaths of liberals in the area freaking out over it. They couldn't believe this guy won. How the heck is he the president? Doesn't make any sense. And he won, and it's like, yeah, that was a little weird. It was like a Simpsons episode. But if the big donors and the big super PACs were for him to begin with, it was a sure deal. Behind the closed doors, there was no voting really going on. It was literally rigged. That should get the Democrats happy. That it was literally rigged. In fact, it was so rigged that apparently there's this one throwaway line in there, or two throwaway lines about the Russians, because that hadn't blown up yet when the movie was finished. And the idea is that, it wasn't just rigged among the elites that voted in Donald Trump and he won over the 16 other candidates. It was that he wanted to make sure that he would win, so he put as much propaganda out that said Hillary is bad and evil and stuff. You don't want to vote for her. As he did, also making it so people wouldn't vote for Bernie Sanders or any of the other candidates. On the other side, or both sides, there was that incumbent middle guy, Bernie. Yeah, I'm not saying that Bernie, they're going to say, you're a Sanders supporter. Yeah. I didn't vote for Bernie Sanders. I voted for Jill Stein. I guess I threw away my vote. But, I didn't vote for either of them. So I have a shirt that says "Everybody Sucks 2016." I'm gonna put it on Marlowe. Fuck you. And he's gonna wear that shirt in this review. Anyway, so yeah. Yes. Anyway, so my take on it is all I'm agreeing with you. So yes. There's this scuzzy people he hangs around with. He thinks he's a. I think the trick of Trump is he thinks he is still on the Apprentice show, and that which he got kicked off of, and that he's doing that, and he was groping to. They didn't want to say it, but here's what it was. The reason he actually got kicked off the Apprentice was not because of the running for president or some kind of conflict of interest. No, he was kicked off because he was ogling the ladies at all of his pageants. They didn't like that. That's why. It's like, yeah, that's gross. Ugh. If I cannot get away with it, you, Mr. Trump, cannot get away with it. But as a Frenchman, I wouldn't need to. Oui. Yeah. Exactly. And speaking of wee, why did he not mention the pee-pee tape? Ivanka knows. She knows. She was probably there. She knows. Yes. But yeah, it's a great movie, and go out and see it. I'm not going to give away everything. He does talk about the stuff he talked about before, Flint, Michigan, and the water. Basically, what's going on in Flint is that their governor was evil, blatantly evil, and in big business and all that stuff. And he decided, I'm not going to name names because that could be libelous. Yeah. But their governor was bad. And he basically, because it was cheaper, made this other pipeline that hooked up the city's water to this crappy-ass river that runs through there. Everybody knows that river sucks, the Flint River. Everybody in the whole country knows that river sucks. All right, so they were getting water that was contaminated with all the pollutants from all the chemical and lead companies up the river. Yeah, so the water was literally messing with everyone's heads and stuff, and affecting the children and the adults. So it was really sad and messed up. Barack Obama's solution was to show up there and then kind of do nothing and drink some water or pretend to and then leave. And then he sent the military in there instead of the military cleanup crews and stuff. I don't know why they couldn't just say, okay, we'll just switch back to that pipeline. Well, they couldn't just do that right now. Just go, okay, put it back where it was going in that other lake, hook it back up. Say, all right, water's fine now, coming out of the lake, and then purify it and stuff. Why they couldn't do that, I don't know. Probably take them a week, maybe 2 weeks to do that. Why they couldn't just do that and then nobody'd be fussing about it anymore. But it was messed up. It's totally messed up because there's poor communities over there. And yeah, so they sent it in the military. So yes, Flint, Michigan as well. You were talking about Flint. Yes, yeah, the water is crappy because of this pipeline thing. I think their Civil Corps of Engineers could fix this in weeks. They literally could fix that. They could just go in and say, all right, they turned the pipeline the wrong way. We'll just cut that off. We'll put in the old pipeline to the lake. They could totally do that. I do not know why they don't do that. They could totally fix that overnight. Well, it would take a few weeks to shift it, but they could fix that, and they should. But yeah, they probably want to sell more bottled water there. And I don't even think that Obama drank from Flint, Michigan water. I think that was probably a staged thing anyway. But that's messed up. Come on. Ew. We did vote for one of those guys. It's burning. No, it's burning. No. The point of the story seems to be that even with Barack Obama's 8 years, that he was kind of the same establishment. He came off as oh, he's going to change everything, it's going to be great and wonderful and everything. And he made the Obamacare and things like that, and tried to help Flint, but really he wasn't. He did a stunt with the drinking the water and all that. I remember that. Also, I have Michigander relatives that said, yeah, the governor, they were conservative, but they said, yeah, the governor of Flint kind of sucks. Yeah, so He's not a nice guy. Don't hang out with him. Wasn't going to, but anyway, so yeah, because yeah, you gotta agree, you know, that town got shafted. Even when Obama showed up, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna do this stunt thing where I test. Probably wasn't even Flint water. It was probably bottled water. But he's like, and I was like, come on, dude. Ooh, yes. Marlowe Fahque was not pretending to vote twice for Calcat. No, he did not go and vote for Hillary as well. No, that did not happen. No, I wouldn't do that. I'm not gonna. No. I did not rig the election. One person in the country. One thing that is off about the Michael Moore is he seems to think America is a democracy, and it's not. It's a constitutional republic. The House and the Senate, judiciary branch, and the executive branch. It's a republic. So as a republic, it's actually more similar to current Soviet Russia. Yes, they did point that out a little bit, but it's also kind of similar to England as well. Constitutional republic with presidential powers. Yes. Okay. Well, Michael Moore spun it, so it sounded worse, but it is bad. It's horrible to the community. Yeah. Anyway, so that was the middle of the movie. It was about Flint because Michael was from Flint. I'm not really a Michael Moore fan all that much, actually. It's just that he says some things that make sense. He even appeared on Fox and said it made sense. Anyway, Oscar-worthy movie here. Oscar-worthy, but I don't know how many people are going to go out and see it. Hopefully Stone Gremlins goes out and sees it because they'll love it. They're flamingly liberal, so they'll be like, hey! This movie does stick it to the man big time. There are some very intense scenes, though. They actually have some footage of that Florida mass shooting in that junior high school. So if you don't like, if you're squeamish about that and want to see cell phone, it's horrible. The kid's just nonchalantly terrorizing his school. It's like, that's messed up. It's like, yeah, that kid's a terrorist. That kid that did that. Yeah, he's a terrorist. And so was the Vegas shooter. So was the black church shooter down in the south somewhere. Of course, white terrorist. So was there's all these guys. Absence of an agenda or anarchy is an agenda, so it does count. Anyway, so yes, no anarchy. Get out and vote in 2020, and show them what you're made of. Next generation is going to put us out of office, so to speak. Yes. Anyway, so yes, get out and vote. That's what Talking Pointless was all about to begin with. I was one of the producers on that. Yes. Anyway, so well, Fuzzy Face signing off. Yes. A lot of discussion on this movie and Flint and all that. And, yeah, enjoyable. I'm going to put that all together. I'm signing off. Yes. Well, yes. Yeah. Hillary lost. Mark's cards didn't like that. He's still convinced the establishment is going to destroy America, but I don't think so. I think it will weather the storm. One of the things that was odd, though, and no, there would not be a civil uprising because that's stupid. What would they be uprising against? Themselves? It's like, and then they get that blue wind that's going on, a blue tide or whatever is going on, and Trump, of course, misquoted it as the storm that's coming. Yes. I stole that in one of my kitty rants. The storm is coming. They're building the wall. Well, if Marlowe Fahque ever ran for president, he'd say in his opening stump speech, I would Calcat. But anyway, he would say, whoever the current person is in power, tear down this wall. Tear the wall down. It's gone. Quoting Reagan from back in the day, who took it from Nancy. Yes. So, yes, they could fix the food problem. And the other problem. And the Democrats need to grow a backbone and some balls so that they can win an election. Because they totally could if they just get somebody outrageous. It would be no problem. But I'm not running. No. Everybody sucks. 2016. I was... Actually, no, Calcat wore this. So I like it. Everybody sucks. Everyone sucks. Everyone is suck. And though it's who you know, who you share blow with, and who you blow. That's what it is in Hollywood. Apparently that's what it is in DC as well. Yes, oh my god, that's horrible. Yes. So yeah, this is a great movie. It is a wonderful movie. You made some key points. I made some key points. Yes. Yes, it's a shit show. It's the whole thing is a reality staged show. I don't even know half of these. And Trump is an elite. He's an elite as well. But as George Bush Jr. pointed out, he weren't in the skull and bones, because he was not. He was not. So, yeah, 500 plus videos on this channel. Oh my goodness, wow. Yeah. I guess the point was that like the rebellion, the guns, and yeah, I don't know where I was going with that one. I mean, they mentioned that school, Florida school shooting, and the characters were in there, the guns and the NRA and because he did the Bowling for Columbine movie, so this new one happened. There was a couple of other ones since the movie came out. So yeah, don't do that either. But nothing says you can't. And no, you cannot have the rebellion of the rich. The rich people going on about the rebellion. It would be like in the French during Les Miserables. Now, Les Miserables, for you who don't know what that is, 50 years after the French Revolution and Napoleon is gone, there was a revolt of the middle class in France. It didn't work because what were they fighting? They were fighting their parents. It didn't work. It failed. That is the plot of Les Miserables. Yes, so that failed, and they were miserable about it because it didn't work. That rebellion already almost happened, but didn't with the election. 2016 year, the establishment rebelled against itself because all great empires fall from within, not from without. It's not a rebellion. It's that the people in power screw it up so badly that they that they take each other out in ways that are just electorally wise or whatnot. They take each other out. So yeah, there's no rebellion of the rich. That's ridiculous. You never have a rebellion of the rich. Not even the famous Anastasia of Russia. Even there, the Romanovs, they shot them all. That's bad. Don't do that. England, Henry, the beheadings. Yeah, you don't have, Elizabeth the Tudor came out of that. But Queen Elizabeth, the greatest Queen Elizabeth. Now the second one is the current queen, you see. But distant cousin, I guess, of the other one. Anyway, but many generations removed. Anyways, so yeah, you don't have a peasant's revolt, a rich person's revolt. The rich people are saying, we're going to have a revolution. They're not. They want to keep it the way it is. And there isn't going to be a revolution the other way, and no civil war. That's stupid. So yeah, Michael Moore's freaking out over that, and it's like, yeah, they were so convinced on both sides that there's some kind of rebellion, which there isn't going to be because that's stupid. What are they going to rebel against themselves? If the establishment is in power, and the establishment is also the other side. So yeah, Michael Moore's movie was it made all the liberals giddy. Although, what they do point out in the video is that the liberals, the ones that are running for offices aren't savvy enough and aren't dark enough, and even Mark Scott pointed this out yesterday. He didn't see this movie, but he wanted to. He probably will. But they're just not willing enough to be just a little more shrewd and a little darker, just enough. Like, they don't need to act exactly like the Republican side, but they need to grow a spine and balls, and they need to just run in there and say, okay, next election, we are going to go crazy because you went crazy. We are going to get a comedian and a superhero and run them for president. And we're going to get a talk show host and run her for president. So I know they said, don't run Hillary. I say yes,
run Hillary, not Hillary, maybe her daughter, but also on the Republican side, if they want to save face, Meghan McCain get out there and run for president. We want you to run. Also, those young people in Florida, some of them, have them run too for Congress or mayor or something. Well, they're not old enough yet, but they will be at some point in the future.
You won't do anything. Go and vote. It's important to vote. Figure out what's going on. Figure out who they are. Go out and vote. And vote these idiots that have gone into power out of office. And then they'll be gone. That's what you do. Yeah, so there you go.
And then look those people in the eye that told you couldn't do it and tell them, oh, I'm going to do it. Not only that, I'm going to be higher ranks than you. Ha ha! Screw you. Yes. So get in there, bro, and do something. Oprah Winfrey needs to run for president. On the Democrat ticket. Oprah frickin' Winfrey. She's out there, she's outgoing, she's a lady, she's a woman. And when she wins, Jon Stewart will be vice president. And because that would be awesome. Or Steve Barrett. Or Jay-Z or something. I don't know. Not Jay-Z, no. Yes, Oprah Winfrey must run in 2020. She will beat Trump. That has to happen. She'll handedly beat him. Just even the Electoral College will be all right, that's cool. Yeah. Oprah. Phil Donahue was still around, he can run too. At this point, they could run a horse and he would. It's a mess. Yes, so yeah, the problem was that the Democrats just thought, oh, we'll run the big business candidate, big warmonger candidate lady. It'll be the glass ceiling will be broken, it'll be glorious. They didn't do it right because Hillary wasn't the right choice. Too much like Bill. Not the right choice. Just, it had to be somebody else. And they couldn't just run another woman candidate, they tried to. So yeah, that's what they pointed out in the movie. So that is part of the movie. Yeah, they didn't mention Oprah in the movie, but I'm mentioning him now. Oprah. They need to do it. Not only the first woman president, the first black woman president. And then some shit will actually get done in places like Detroit and Michigan and shit. Then stuff will get done. Cause she'll be like, okay, I'm the president now. I'm gonna straighten this out. Anyway, so, yes. I don't mean to be offensive. Anyway, many of those people that Trump was associated with turned out to be offensive. You know, like that Roy Moore guy. No relation to Michael Moore, who was apparently offensive. And, yeah. So, but I thought it was a really good movie, and it's probably the best of this year. Definitely 4 stars, if not higher. Definitely Oscar worthy. There were 4 of us in the audience on a special screening, and that's not good. There are other critics in it watching it. I'm not really famous, so I was there like, oh, okay, whatever. But yeah, and they sort of slinked out before I did. It was funny. I was like, I'm not being paid by anybody. I'm just here, you know. So that's my review as well. Yeah, Oscar movie, first Oscar movie of the year. I could do a review, but I pretty much said everything on this review. Regular review. Someone keeps trying to hack my Google channel too. It's like, what are they trying to get? I mean, there's nothing, it's movie reviews. There's nothing on there they want. Anyway, so it's not the Russians. So yes, I think he is freaked out. I will say though, I think Donald Trump is freaked out. The people are freaked out because he would want to just make himself president for life. He would like to, but I think by 2020 he's going to be bored of being president. He's going to be like, I want to do something else. He's getting bored. He's not going to stay 2 terms. No, it's not going to happen. So yeah, that's my prediction. Is that either but he will just get so pissed off at the people that are trying to railroad him, some of which are Republicans, that he's just going to say, okay, I'm going to do something else now. I don't want to do this no more. And he's going to quit. Because unlike Hitler, who was a dictator, or a Barack Obama who was savvy, or Kim Jong-un who is a president for life on the planet, or something like that. Unlike those people that are more ruthless, he's not as ruthless as he lets on. He's not really as smart as he lets on. And he says whatever's on his mind, shoots himself in the foot, proverbially. And, yeah, he's not clearly as smart as he lets on. And that is what he is. He is like right there what he is. He's a game show, talk show host. He had no idea what he's doing. Which means for those of you out there that want to vote, go and vote and become elected, because anybody apparently can run for president. Anyone. This is like, ow. Like that one kid that ran in Maine, the lady that ran in Maine, and she won because the guy was unopposed. Get out there and vote. Get out there and change it, because you can. I don't know why you guys slipped down. Oh well. Anyway, so yeah. Watch Michael Moore's Fahrenheit 9/11 or 11/9 for the November election. He didn't point out that the election crowd was smaller though. Anyway, this is pretty much my review. So of it. Yeah, go out and see it.